This is your map of life, but you'll be looking at it thinking, what on earth does that mean? And how exactly does that work? But this holds the secret to your life moving forward. It holds exactly how you will shape your life, what are the things that you're going to come across, and how to get out of life the things that you actually want. It also is a map to that sense, that burning deep sense of purpose. But the tree of life is absolutely something that is really curious, but you may be thinking, it looks too complicated to get my head around. I'm Heidi Sawyer. I'm your host for the upcoming webinar, How to Use the Magic of the Tree of Life to Master Life Lessons Without Feeling Overwhelmed. This is a short pre-video to that webinar to help you overcome your view that the tree is maybe too highbrow for you or too highbrow for you to understand. How do I know that? Because most intuitive sensitives are the overgivers of this world. You are an intuitive sensitive, otherwise you wouldn't be listening to me right now. You have little time for your own requirements. You're busy worrying generally about everybody else. Your empathic nature means you want to do good by everyone. Okay, your happiness is reliant on if everybody else is happy. And if you're convinced you can't make others happy, you become very unhappy. Lots of happies and unhappies. It feels then impossible to shrug off anything. It feels difficult to shrug off those heavier emotions, especially if you can't make others happy. It feels unfair, generally, that things impact you quite so much because it doesn't seem like they impact everybody else in the same way. So what if there was a way to feel less worried about what happens in your world and the world? It didn't mean that you had to do the impossible. What's the impossible? Just go, oh, doesn't matter. Impossible means that you just shrug it off. And other people will say to you all the time, oh, it doesn't matter, just shrug it off. For you, that doesn't happen. There is an instant way to understand why in life, the whys in life, rather than feel that something has to hit you quite so personally. Okay, let's face it, as an intuitive sensitive, you are a private person. You don't like your inner world splayed out for everybody else to gawp at, unless, of course, that person or those people have proven how trustworthy they are to you. Okay, the tree of life is your shortcut to the unified self. Imagine as a human being that you have many I personas, not eyes as in these, but I, the letter I, personas. Okay, you may think I did that means that you are referring to one constant, so one constant entity. So it's you, that one I that makes decisions. Okay, the truth is you have many I personas inside of you. Okay, it doesn't mean that you've got multiple personalities, doesn't mean that at all. They are simply different characters that are active in different parts of the self. But imagine if you understood exactly how that works, why they are there, and what difference they make to your life moving forward. So as an example, one persona might get worried. So one gets I get worried about simple things. That might be one of your I personas. Another is that you may be very bold. So one of your I personas is very bold in unusual circumstances. The issue is we spend our life as an intuitive sensitive dancing to all the I personalities in everyone else, okay, in everybody else. And imagine if there was a way, a map for all the different I experiences, okay, your I and the sometimes absolutely completely out of hand I personas in everybody else. Imagine if there was a map to be able to read that. The tree of life is a map revolving around a permanent sense of self, where you can see the different I personas and why they are there and what they've got to do with the feature in your life. why they're there, what you're meant to be learning from them, and when it's time for those different eyes, especially in other people, to go away. Okay, rather than you feel that it's something that you have to deal with forevermore. This is a map to allow you to be able to see that extremely clearly. Okay, you want that sense of the unified self, because you need to know how to unify all those different I characters, because let's face it, you've always had that level of sensitivity. It's not going away, so you may as well absolutely use it in an extremely positive way. So why is this very important in your life? Because as an intuitive sensitive, your path in life is to master what seems to be the unknown, okay? To no longer feel that you're run by everyone else's emotions, that your happiness is run by everybody else's emotions, and your peace of mind is run by everybody else. Okay, even those emotions of people you don't even know, we don't even know very well, but it feels like somehow you are permanently responsible for it, and you're fed up with it. You've had enough. Okay, so rather than feel you're the one thing that you spent your life being criticized for, where it's fallen out of other people's mouths at some point or another, I can guarantee that in your life it has, that you're too sensitive, you can use that sensitivity wisely, okay? Within one of the world's oldest systems, the Tree of Life, it opens the door to the magic of life meaning, okay, in a format that's exactly how you operate. How do I know that? You're one of the truly brave. And you may think, well, I'm not brave, Heidi, I'm not. You are. You look to the truth, okay, you look to what matters, you look to the truth, the inner world for answers. Your sensitivity means you are already a success at that. Okay, you look for answers, deeper answers for things. How do I know? Because you are interested in self-development. Self-development is an absolute level of self-respect. It's an expression of faith in your potential. Self-development washes off the mud of life, even when most people don't even see the mud. But this map gives you an exact way of looking at where the mud sticks and how to adequately move it off so it no longer feels like it's something to do with you. Okay? You tackle life. Absolutely, as an intuitive sensitive, you tackle life. The Tree of Life gives you access, and it is absolutely well within your understanding. This Carl Jung quote fits you, okay? One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. This is what the Tree of Life does, okay? It's a map to show you where the magic of life exists, whilst sidestepping or passing through the dark. The only issue is you don't know, you've got no clue as to where to start and how to understand it, okay? You only simply want some help with understanding it, with reading your map, reading your life map. You don't actually want it done for you. There's no excitement in that. If something's done for you, you want to experience. And that part of your life purpose is to experience the richness of that sensitivity in its positive way, which is to really experience what it is to be positively in this world, in this physical world. Okay, so you don't want it done for you. You want just some help with actually figuring it and understanding and being able to read what your map of life really is. The starting point for you, I will be covering in the upcoming webinar how to use the magic of the Tree of Life to master life lessons without feeling overwhelmed. I look forward to seeing you for this exciting webinar training session. Bye for now. This is your map of life, but you'll be looking at it thinking, what on earth does that mean? And how exactly does that work? But this holds the secret to your life moving forward. It holds exactly how you will shape your life. What your empathic nature means, you want to do good by everyone. Okay, your happiness is reliant on if everybody else is happy. And if you're convinced you can't make others happy, you become very unhappy. Lots of happies and unhappies. It feels then impossible to Shri is maybe too highbrow for you or too highbrow for you to understand. How do I know that? Because most intuitive sensitives are the overgivers of this world. You are an intuitive sensitive, otherwise you wouldn't be listening to me right now. You have little time for your own requirements. You're busy worrying generally about everybody else, are the things that you're going to come across, and how to get out of life the things that you actually want. It also is a map to that sense, that burning deep sense of purpose. But the tree of life is absolutely something that is really curious, but you may be thinking, it looks too complicated to get my head around. I'm Heidi Sawyer. I'm your host for the upcoming webinar, How to Use the Magic of the Tree of Life to Master Life Lessons Without Feeling Overwhelmed. This is a short pre-video to that webinar to help you overcome your view that the tree